back to another episode of Let's Play Fallout New Vegas. My name is Kelthos, and in the last episode we had finally come into the Forbidden Zone area, and we talked to Dr. Mobius, who is like a broken, crazy brain robot, and he was telling us a bunch of stuff of why he did what he did and how he did what he did and all that, and he really wasn't making a whole lot of sense. But then we went to go collect our brain, and our brain is actually talking to us and doesn't want to come back, but we convinced him to. And now he's saying that if we do go back and the people that captured us won't do the surgery that they said they were going to do, and they'd use my brain to get past the barrier. But we're trying to figure out how to convince him that they won't do that, so that we can get back there and they can put our pieces back together and we can be human again. But yeah, in this episode we're going to continue talking to him and see if we can do that. So here we go. You're a part of me. I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
If the think tank won't hold up their bargains, we'll make them. Let's go. I'll handle the brains. You stay here. You'll be more useful outside my head. No, you're coming with me. If the think tank won't hold up their bargain, we'll make them. Let's go.
Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in, no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Indeed. Okay, we need to go confront Dr. Klein at the think tank and end your imprisonment at Big MT, and we need to use the Sync autodock to retrieve your original heart and use the Sync autodock to retrieve your original spine. But what do they do? I can't remember. Status effects? Yeah. Spineless gives me +1 strength. And I don't remember what they said my heart was doing. Maybe I don't want my spine to go away. But anyway, we're gonna get out of here and see if we can't get back there to where we need to go. So I will meet y'all back at Big MT. Okay, we're back, and I'm talking to the autodock. I'd like to engage in your services.
Rightly so, I should think. Alright then, let me just fire up the old interface for you.
I need to swap body parts. I want to place my heart back in my chest. You have lost the Heartless perk. Your heart is back in your body, but some advanced technologies remain. You are less resistant to poison, 50%, and robots are only somewhat confused by you, 25% less likely to score a critical hit now. But on the bright side, healing items are twice as effective. Nice. I couldn't remember what the heart did, but anyway, we got our heart back. We're not going to do the spine though. Well, maybe we should. I don't know. Should we? Okay, I'm going to try out the other things and see what they do. Can I swap them back? Because this did +1 strength, so what does it do when I switch it back? Your spine is back in your body, but some advanced technologies remain. Your torso can now be crippled again. Okay, but your strength and damage threshold bonuses have doubled. Awesome. I think that that's better than what I had.
Foot bone's connected to the leg. You require some additional services?
Yeah, I want to swap body parts, and I want to swap my heart back and see what it does. Swap body parts. Swap your heart for the synthetic version. You've gained the Heartless perk. You have lost the Cardiac Arrest perk. Okay.
Leg bone's connected to the purple bone.
This one is what now? Stats. Effect. Condition. Perks. There it is. Heartless. Your heart has been replaced with advanced technologies. You cannot be poisoned, and filters in your heart will also regulate bleeding and healing, allowing all healing items to function at a higher level. Robots are now confused by you, and 50%. I think that's better than the one that I had. So let's leave that at that.
Require some
Can I put my brain back now? No, I can't because they can do that. Okay. Do nothing. Alright, let's go. Where do I need to go? Think tank, yeah. Dr. Klein awaits. Make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all. Nice. Before we go in here and talk to Dr. Klein and everything and confront him, I think we need to go back to the sink and heal ourselves because we're like at half health. And that ain't gonna work if we're gonna have to fight him. Which I hope we don't have to fight him, but it sounds like we will. Sorry, I was adjusting my phone.
You require some additional services?
By adjusting it, I mean moving it. Yes. I would like a basic physical exam. Okay, I think we're as prepared as we're going to be, so... Hello. Dr. Klein.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
Nope. I found my brain. Now you and I are going to settle things. I think you're past due for your lobotomy, Klein. You may have noticed the pacification field is down. Guess what happens now? Yeah, I found my brain now, and you and I are going to settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite.
I'm not
Now, your
frickin'
brain. Hand
scared
it
of
over,
you, dude.
or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over. There's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place.
There's got to be another way,
I cannot
dude.
tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first about this Mojave place.
I can
A
answer
fertile
those
testing
questions.
ground
He's
for our
in my brain,
experiments.
or my head. You think I am the lobotomite? No, for my skull houses the brain of Mobius. Yeah.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you.
Maybe he is.
Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Nothing is impossible for science. Meson lasers, atoms, brainwaves, all are at my command. Countless brain extraction surgeries exist, but only one implantation one from Mobius. I think you're past. Yeah, I will do this one.
You speak the truth. And the decibel variation in your voice. It is Mobius. How dare you breach the think tank? And what do you want here?
I offer a deal. Stay here, stay put, and I'll let you live. I think you're past due. Yeah, I'm gonna say this one.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities.
I mean, I'd let you go with me if I could, but...
Seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
I will permit you to do this for me. I think you're... Yeah, I will permit you.
Partner with you? My foe? My rival? My foremost critic? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very
Weird.
well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
I will not. Thank you. Leave the think tank. I shall. I think we're done here. Yay! Big empty, yeah.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century.
Nice.
The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others, which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The courier had scoured much of the Big
I don't know
Empty,
who's talking now.
although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event.
So you just tried again?
After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
Nice.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
So as much as they annoyed him,
Biological
he liked
research
it.
station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden,
Did you
so
get
that
the
it
transfer?
might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours.
Creepo.
The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip.
Of course
and
it was.
the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magnetohydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean.
Of course it
The
did.
toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Of course.
Muggy did his best
We
to
could use
collect
fire.
coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village.
Uh-oh.
It might have been the end for poor Muggy, except he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well,
At least he found a purpose.
Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind-eye old Jefferson eventually discovered a new sound. Silence. It only made him more filled with the blues than before. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches.
Did he?
Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical,
kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic, dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ, and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
Apparently. Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
Yeah, you guys already know about it, so you can't just forget about it.
Old world blues. It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning. Where
we
once
haven't
it
had
was
the
viewed
second
as a
battle
form
yet.
of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future.
I mean, it isn't all evil.
There was
it depends on
old
whose
world
hands it's in.
And new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The Sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
You have lost the brainless perk. I thought I had that already. What? You have gained the big-brained perk. Big-brained. Your brain is back in your body, but some of the advanced technologies remain. Your head still cannot be crippled, but you are only 10% more resistant to addiction now. Surprisingly, your damage threshold has improved by 10%, minimum of 1. You've acquired the Big Mountain Transponder. It's capable of transporting you, and you alone, between the Mojave Wasteland and Big MT. To return to the Mojave or go back to MT from the Mojave, simply equip the transportal ponder as you would any weapon and pull the trigger, and away you'll go. Note that it won't work in interiors or in combat situations, and it's totally incapable of harming your enemies. Who's cheering? Oh, everybody. Level up. Yay. What are we gonna do here? We probably want more in energy weapons, because we're using an energy weapon. So let's do 10 in that, and let's do 7 in that, I guess, even though it's uneven. And we gotta do one of these, so I'll be right back. I think I'm gonna get this Scrounger one so I can find more ammo, since I'm running low on ammo on pretty much everything. Can you...
Might I be safe in the assumption that matters with the think tank have been satisfactorily concluded vis-a-vis your residence in this domicile?
Yes. That's true. Switch off the sync's personality matrices? No. I'd like to buy some things. I need my equipment repaired, because I want to see if you can repair my frickin' stealth suit, but I don't think you can. No, you can't, because it costs 15,000 caps. Never mind. God damn. That is expensive. Goodbye. Time for us to leave and figure out what other DLC we're going to do. Okay, we gotta go to weapons and equip the transporter portal ponder. Oh, we already have it equipped. Okay, so let us do this. Boom. Well, that was quick. Nice. Now we're going to travel back to, I think it's Novak, where our storage stuff is, and we're going to put everything back, or put everything away and stuff like that, and then we are going to get our people back, our companions that we had.
7.
You have gained the Bug Stomper perk rank 1. Nice. I don't know what that does, but we gained it.
Excuse me, but are you the courier who caused all of that trouble in the tops?
Oh, this lady just stopped me and asked me if I was the courier that caused all the trouble in the tops. Why do you want to know?
Oh, well, we heard, we meaning the followers of the apocalypse, that you had been in there. The Lucky 38, I mean.
Yes, I have.
And we were wondering if you could help us. If it's not too much trouble, of course.
How did you get enough money to enter the strip?
This is important enough to the followers that we scraped together the caps required for the credit check. And I'm staying at Vault 21, which is pretty cheap, for the strip anyway.
Okay. What does this involve?
Oh, great. The followers of the apocalypse, well, some of us anyway, have been interested in Mr. House's technology. How he stays alive.
Okay.
Of course, no one else is allowed inside the Lucky 38, so no one knows what's going on. Well, except for you.
And this is where I come in?
Right. We just want to find out what sort of technology Mr. House has used to stay alive for all these years.
Okay.
It could be of great benefit to the people we try to help, many of whom suffer from hard-to-diagnose illnesses.
Dr. Kelthos diagnoses a terminally low discussion of caps in this conversation.
Ah, I see. I suppose I can give you some medical supplies for your efforts. I assure you they will be worth plenty of caps.
Well, I'm not going to sell them. Alright, I'll do it.
Great. I'll have the medical supplies for you by the time you come back.
Alright, thanks.
Here, take this packet sniffer. It'll allow us to intercept data on Mr. House's network. You might have to manually remove the encryption from his data network, but hopefully you won't have too much trouble. Good luck.
Nice. Thank you. Alright, in the next episode, we will try to do that, I guess, and then move on to a different DLC. But first I'm gonna get my buddies back. I think they're up at in my hotel suite. But yeah, we'll do that all in the next episode. I want to thank you all for watching, and if you like what you see, I suggest you subscribe to my channel so you can see the new videos I post every single day. And if you really like the videos, I'd really like it if you could leave a thumbs up and a comment. That way I could have some interaction on my channel and know that people are actually watching and actually care. And if you want to know when I post my videos, exactly when I post them, the best way to do that is to turn on your notifications as well. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.